Today we're going to try out one of these jack door hangers to see if it allows you to take a door off by yourself. Stick around. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the garage, and this is a tool that I've been wanting to buy forever. I got this off of Amazon. I think it was like 130 bucks, around there. I'll put a link down below if you want to go check it out. It is the Easy Rest door hanger from Steck Manufacturing, part number 21870. And the idea behind it is it goes on a jack that has a removable jack pad, which my old Daytona here from Harbor Freight does. And then it gives you a surface to lift the door, and it's got side parts on it that stabilize the door. And so, you know, working on doors by yourself is the worst thing ever, especially on an A-body like this. The doors are super big, heavy. Even on the Nova it was bad, but I'm not even talking about removing doors. I'm talking about replacing pins and stuff like that whenever the bushings get worn out. It's just something that you can't do by yourself. And I'm hoping that this is a solution for us guys that do 99% of the stuff that we do by ourselves. So let's get this thing installed, check it out, and see if it works. Okay, we've got some instructions and some pins and some kind of mount, which makes me wonder whether or not it will work on this setup. We'll keep on digging into it and see what it says. Hopefully it will. If not, I may have to try one of my other jacks. Yeah, this shows it going down through the bottom of the shoe and into the assembly, but I think we can use the old bolt. Nope, we can't because it's going to be too big. And here's how this thing's supposed to go on here. But I think a little modification to this to allow us to use this will work. So I'm going to have to grab the grinder and go to town on it. Instead of the grinder, I thought, why not try the Unibits? I've got two of them. I'm not sure which one's sharp still. I think it might be this one. Both of them could probably do with getting sharpened up. Okay, after wiring it out with the Unibit, I think I should be able to get that thing to set right down in there now. Where's my drill gun? Here it is. My battery died right before I was able to get the thing perfect, but it, I think, will pull down. Might be a little bit of a pain in the butt to get off. Okay. Okay, so the bottom bracket is not loose. The one that's mounted to the jack is not loose. This part has some tilt in it, so you can adjust, obviously, to match the tilt of your door. Okay, the end pieces use a 17 millimeter. And now you can see, like, there's parts that come in here that stand up, but they use pins to retain those. And that's so you can take it off to get it underneath the door easy without having to slide it around the back of the door or something. So you'll see what I'm talking about. Okay, so the uprights have a foam support with a zipper on it to make life a little easier. It's not the hard plastic or hard rubber that's going to be on the bottom, but then we can just run our pins in like so to secure them. And hopefully the car's not too high off the ground. I really don't want to have to lower it on the jack stands to pull a door, but we'll do what we have to. Okay, so here you can get a better idea of why it's nice to be able to take one of these sides off, because we're approaching it from this direction. And we'll put this back on before we take the door off. Now keep in mind, if you're ever taking a door off like this, don't take the hinges off of both sides without indexing at least one side. It'll make your life a lot easier. You can remove the hinges, but as I said, index them. Use something like drill a small hole, you know, into the frame or into the body or into the door. That way, whenever you put it back in, you can put a guide pin in there and get at least one side lined up, because these hinges, if you take them off both sides, you're going to be fighting to get your panel gaps ever aligned properly. So let's open this thing up. It's probably the best angle there so I can get the door off. Now that we've got it underneath there, I can go ahead and reinstall the other bar. Let's go ahead and jack this thing up. Now don't want to put this thing into a bind, but being that this door has very, very bad pins, it's going to have some lift to it anyways. And you can see, hopefully, that this thing's starting to level off now. And that's the nice thing about how this thing is set up, where it's got some ability to kind of swivel to match the door. That looks good. Looks like the weight's off the pins nice. I'm going to go ahead and remove the bottom hinge first, then the top one, because the bottom one's going to have more support from the jack, and if it starts to move, it'll be easier to catch. Okay, starting to settle on the jack now. Now I'm taking the third bolt out the bottom. Of course, it's going to be the hardest one. I probably should have saved the easiest one to get to for reasons like that, because this pinch seam here is right in the throat. Jack it up a little more, see if that helps release some of the tension. I don't know if I'm releasing it or adding it, to be honest with you. I just don't want the door to swing over into the frame here. Not that it would be a big ordeal, because it's not going to go too far. Just backing down the jack slowly till it gets a little bit easier to get the hardware out. There we go. Here comes the moment of truth. There we go. Okay, so the door's off the car, and that is literally easier than any time I've done it, even with somebody else helping me. So I would say that if you are doing this by yourself, yeah, this is money well spent. I probably should have had it up a little bit closer, as you can see. Get a little bit more balance, but as I said, this thing has the adjustment down here, where whenever we go back on to realign it, we can kind of use that to help support it and get everything squared away on the car. But for now, as I said, if you're doing something like this by yourself, you got to start to find ways of doing it smarter, not harder, and having one of these is great. We're going to strip the door off. We're going to repair some rust spots. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but there's some rust, not so much, too much, just a little bit right down here at the bottom, maybe about 3 inches by an inch. So I'll cut that out and put a new piece in there. We're going to strip it down and prime it on a stand. We'll be doing epoxy primer. We'll go ahead and rebuild the pins on the stand also, because these pins are just completely shot. I don't know if you'll be able to see this detent pin here is blown out. So being able to do that on the stand will make life a lot easier. And then once it's primered, and we will shoot the jambs on the stand also, and once the door jambs are shot, things like that, then we can take it, put it back on the car, and button it up and paint it. So not too bad. It'll be real good to get those painted up. So hopefully the rain hasn't been too loud today. Sorry, I just wanted to do a quick video showing you this tool. Some of you guys might find it very helpful out there. As always, like, subscribe, that jazz. You guys know the drill. Thanks for stopping by the garage. Remember, ABT, always be tuning.